Hi, welcome to Udu Beginners 1, compliment to my Rhythm magazine article. Now this drum for me is one of the most special drums that I've had in my percussion arsenal for many years now. It's an absolutely beautiful drum. You can see it's got very rich low tones, great metallic ringing high tones. It's a really beautiful drum. Now I first heard this drum many years ago at a Jan Gabrick concert, and Nana Vasconcelos was playing this drum, and just in the middle of the gig he came out to the front of the stage just with an udu and a wood block, and it was just the most incredible. Just did a solo on an udu and a wood block, and it was just like incredible. And all the people in the audience were, trying to get a peep in at what he was doing, because many people hadn't heard that instrument before. But anyway, the udu originates from Nigeria. It's a clay drum. This is called the utar version of the udu, and there's lots of different versions of udu. We can see from some of the images that are just about to come up that there are lots of different shapes and sizes of udu. It's quite a huge family of drums. This is one of the modern day drums from LP. You can see it's almost like a bit like Starship Enterprise actually, but it's a very cool drum. Udus generally are differentiated from the South Indian Ghatam in that an udu will have two holes. You can see there's one here on the top, and there's another one on the funnel there. With the other shaped drums, there's a hole on the side and a hole on the top. So a very cool drum that you can get a lot of different tones and sounds from. Really cool drum, and you can imagine for all sorts of percussion, especially out into a contemporary hybrid environment. It's a very valuable drum for the modern percussionist. In Nigeria, they generally tend to come in a set of four, a family of four drums, and in the same way that African drums come together, as a family of tones with interlocking parts. The whole rhythm is built up as a composite of all those parts interlocking together as one thing. So we're going to look at some very basic beginning techniques on this instrument. Now you have to remember that it's a hybrid instrument for the modern day percussionist. A lot of the techniques that you'll see percussionists playing on this drum will come from conga players' technique or bongo players' technique, tabla, split hand technique, Indian split hand technique, darabuka technique. All these techniques can be employed on the udu, and we're going to look at a few basic starting points. So we're going to start off with a simple pattern involving single strokes, right left, and we're just going to have one bass tone on the first stroke, which is played by this part of the hand striking over the hole. Now, one of the things about this bass tone is the speed of the withdrawal of the stroke. You get a different pitch. So if it's very fast, you get a very high pitched tone. If it's very slow, then you get a much lower tone. And using that in a kind of glissando kind of way is one of the things that gives a lot of character to the udu. So we've got the bass tone. We'll just play a simple, cover and leave it there sort of approach. And then we're going to use our fingertips on the shell of the drum. Now, as I said, there's lots of different techniques that you can use: bongo technique, tabla technique, different stuff. We're just going to use full hand strokes for the moment. We're going to use our fingertips Notice how much pressure you leave. That's completely closed, completely open. So depending on how you play the drum, there's, besides the glissando that you get from the hole, there's a lot of different variations you can get from the resonance of the body as well. So we're just going to have right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Bass, treble, treble, treble. Notice you get a little bit of up glissando when you take your hand off of the hole. Depending on the speed of the pattern, that will change in accordance to that. So now, with the full version of example 1, we do single speed and double speed. So try and keep all the strokes very smooth, and you don't want to be playing too loud at this point in time because we want to be adding some accents in later on. So let's look at a slightly different example. Example 2, we're going to do single and double speed again, and we're going to break up the pattern a little bit to make a slightly different groove to help us on our early stages of learning some simple approaches on the instrument. Still right, left, right, left. Right, right, left, bass. Bass, right, left, bass. You see, it's a very cool rhythm, even a cool instrument, even with these simple rhythms. You know, it's actually immediately an effective drum, and that's what makes it such an exciting thing for any percussionist to bring into their setup. Because even with very basic technique, if you don't know anything about Indian hand techniques or different combinations of using multiple fingers, such as Turkish technique and split hand technique, you can still do a lot of interesting things on the instrument, even here with just the simple single stroke roll. So we're going to start to add some accents in now. So an accent really is only differentiated from an ordinary stroke, shall we say, by the distance it travels. So at the moment we're travelling this far. So for an accent we just come out further. So you can see I'm just coming out this far for the accent, and probably the non-accents are kind of this far out. So we're going to have a simple pattern that looks at including an accent in it. It's quite similar to the last pattern, but we fill in all of the eighth notes and we add an accent in there. So another option, as I said, there's lots of different techniques and hand techniques you can use. Because I've studied tabla, I tend to do a lot of my accenting on the drum with the first finger or the third finger. So with the first finger. So I'm going to play that pattern again, but I'm going to accent it with the first finger, which is a stroke that's very common in tabla playing. So you can see that the finger stroke is really clear, very, very staccato, very sharp in comparison to the accent with the 4 fingers. So it's up to you, choose which is most comfortable. The 4-fingered accent is fine. For a lot of the examples, I'm going to be accenting using the first finger. So let's just use the same concept, but make the pattern, a little bit more involved. We're going to look at example 4, and we're going to have divided into 3 plus 3 plus 2 as 1/8 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you can see we're going right, left, right, left, right, left still. There's no difference in the sticking. Right, left, 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 right, left. So we can see it's a pretty interesting pattern, again with very simple technique. So now let's rearrange that. So first of all, we've had 3, 3, 2. Let's have 3, 2, 3. So this is example 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We can also start to break patterns up and do patterns in different ways. So we don't have to be playing continuous notes with bass tones and accents and other strokes, ghost strokes or slightly muted strokes. We can break patterns up and do many different things just with simple hand combinations. So in example 6, we're going to have a slightly broken up pattern with an accent and kind of a complete kind of rounded shape to it. One, 2, 3, 4. So that's enough to get going for this first article, for this first video lesson for the article in Rhythm magazine. So do check the magazine out and refer to a lot of the information that I've put in there, additional information and different interesting different points of observation. So thanks for watching, and tune in for the second Udu article very soon.